Out of a group of 20, 18 were Dine and Dashers, folks. Get a load of this. This is the Crazy Cajun restaurant on 290 in Hollister. According to the people I spoke to that sent this video in, the folks here that you guys see were not happy with that gratuity fee. They did not want to pay that. So what they did was walk out. Only 2 tabs were paid for. This is sad. Wait a minute, did she just say she was gonna pew-pew someone? Oh, Lord. She just threatened to pew-pew someone over a Dine and Dash tab. Can we get a come on down? Was it really necessary, on top of taking off and not paying the tab, except 2 people, but everyone else walked out? On top of that, you guys threatened the wait staff with a pew-pew experience? Nah, that ain't it. All right, so this is just an idea of the group, how big the group was.
All right, guys, so on this edition of Cuckoo for Cocoa Puff World, we have to go out to the ghettos of Houston, right? The ghetto, because this story is as ghetto as it gets, okay? As it involves a funeral party, a ghetto funeral party of about 20 or so people who decided to dine at a restaurant and then walk out on the bill after the restaurant charged an automatic gratuity. It doesn't just end there, right? It wasn't bad enough that they walked out. When the restaurant workers actually tried to confront the people walking out about the unpaid bill, which, you know, they have the right to do. Okay, these people came and ate and didn't pay the bill. The ghetto dinner party decided to threaten the restaurant workers, threatening to shoot them for simply confronting them about a bill that they didn't pay. Take a look.
New this morning, a massive dine and dash at a Northwest Houston restaurant caught on camera,
including threats of violence against the restaurant workers. Our Chelsea Edwards is live at the Crazy Cajun with more. Chelsea, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Yes, I spoke with management here at the Crazy Cajun off of 290. They tell me that they have had people who've walked out on tabs before, but nothing like this. Take a look at the video. This was all captured on cell phone. Now, management here at Crazy Cajun, they say last Friday, this group of 20 people came to the restaurant. They tell us during that visit, they made several complaints, sending food back to the kitchen. But the manager says no matter what they did to try to ease those complaints, it did not seem like the people who were visiting could be pleased. In the end, management comped drinks, kids' meals, some of the food items, but the guests then took issue with having to pay automatic gratuity. The several patrons and other visitors and the staff there, they captured the cell phone video of this whole group dining and dashing, even taking to-go containers of the food they complained about. One person could be heard on the video threatening the staff, saying that they would get shot. Now, for the record, there is a sign posted inside here at Crazy Cajun that groups of 18 or more would have to pay automatic gratuity. Now, 2 people we're told did go ahead and stay around and go ahead and pay their tabs, but this was more than a $500 bill between 20 people that was not completely paid. So the waitress, we're told, was out of her tip. She's a single mother that was depending on that to also try to purchase a vehicle. We're actually going to talk to the manager coming up in the next hour. She did say that they did file a police report, but usually in these cases, nothing gets done. So we're hoping that something happens here, but we're going to talk to her to get more information about this. For now, reporting live at Crazy Cajun, Chelsea Edwards, Fox 26 News.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that, okay? Typical classless ghetto behavior. And guys, I'm just not surprised in regards to what people of certain socioeconomic statuses do, right? The tricks that they will pull in order to get away with what is essentially theft, right? Because that's what this is, okay? It's theft. Is also communicating threats of violence, because apparently they threatened to shoot a restaurant worker who simply wanted to get paid, right, for what is a $500 plus bill. And the crazy thing about this is that even though I'm not a fan of gratuity, I think everybody knows when you go to a restaurant and you have a large party, you should expect to be charged a gratuity fee, right? I mean, or automatic gratuity, where tipping is not at your discretion. The restaurant automatically charges a tip because they have to ensure that their staff gets paid for the work, right? Because when you have 20 people that has to be served at one time, that requires a lot of resources from the restaurant, okay? And you're taking away resources from other people, right? So you have to make sure that the people that are working at table actually get paid. That is why they do the automatic gratuity. Again, I'm not a fan of it, but again, I understand why they do it. Now, even with the gratuity added in, right, the total was $552.67, which might seem like a lot, but when you divide it among 20 people, we're only talking about $27 a person. These people refused to pay or to split the bill for $27 each. This is just ridiculous, right? Again, I can understand that people are upset that they didn't get the service or the food quality that they expected, which at this point, I'm not necessarily sure if that is really the case, right? Or maybe they were just saying that as an excuse to walk out on the bill, right? Regardless of the gratuity, they were going to walk out. They had no intentions of paying anyways, because again, that's how these people roll. But again, even if you're not satisfied with the service, you still received the service, you still received the food, you probably received extra food, and you probably received extra service because you complained so much. So again, the restaurant probably gave you a ton of free stuff, and then you ended up walking out on it, which means that the restaurant probably lost a ton of money. And again, who's going to suffer because of that? Who's going to suffer at the end of the day? It's going to be the workers. The workers are going to suffer. And then once the restaurant shuts down because you have too many people like these individuals that are basically stealing from the restaurant, you'll have the people in the community crying, oh, it's racist. Your restaurant was racist for shutting down. All these black people losing their jobs. Black people unemployed. Again, you wonder why all these businesses are leaving the black community. Why are they leaving the black community? Because of stuff like this. Because of these types of behaviors. And again, for me personally, it's funny because it is kind of personal to me. When I go to a restaurant, I make sure that I'm not trying to fit a stereotype, right? I make sure that I give a nice tip, right? Even if the service isn't super great, if it's good enough where I don't have anything to complain about, I'll give an above average tip, right? Because I want to support people who work hard, who are, in these service jobs. I understand, you're not getting paid, wages that they feel like they should be paid. And it's a tough job. I get it. So I understand it. So I make sure I tip above average, right? Because I know that there is a stereotype about black people, right? And how we tip. So I want to make sure that I'm not adhering to that stereotype. But again, it's people like this that reinforce those stereotypes. It's people like this. This is the reason that black people get profiled, right? This is the reason why black people profile. Why is a white man looking at me a certain way, right? Why are they watching me closely when I walk into a store? Why are they following me around? Well, it's because it just so happens that people that look like you tend to steal things, right? And again, I'm not saying other people don't do it. I'm not saying that it's not something that you see with, multiple races. But I'm just saying, let's look at the crime statistics here. Black people are disproportionately represented when it comes to these types of crimes. That's just the facts. If you got a problem with it, don't take it up with me. Take it up with the people committing the crimes. And that's the problem. We don't demonize these people enough. We don't look down on this type of behavior enough. Because this stuff was caught on camera, and these people should be in jail. They should be facing consequences for their actions, but unfortunately, it's probably not going to happen, right? As they alluded to in a news clip. Police are probably not going to do much because if they put in effort to go and get these people, to actually, you know, arrest them, they'll just get a slap on the wrist, right? They'll get a slap on the wrist and they can go about their day and they can just go steal from another restaurant, right? They can just walk out on another bill. As long as there's no consequences for this type of behavior, you're going to continue to see this, right? And this will perpetually be the problem. You'll have businesses that are going to go out of business. They're going to leave these communities, and the community is going to get even worse. You're going to have even more crime, even more violence, because you're going to have more poverty. And it's just a never-ending cycle. And it's not going to end until we get tough on crime and until these individuals clean up their behavior, right? Which, again, they're not going to clean up their behavior until you get tough on crime, until you start punishing these people and, you know, sending a message that this type of stuff won't be tolerated. But, hey, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.